You should have seen the offer that I wrote. I mean, even though it might have been handled in the pre-printed, I reiterated it again. I wanted to make sure that he got all the things. And at the very end, at the closing table, I ended up fessing up. I was like, "Hey, by the way, I just feel like I need to tell you this." And they were like, "Wow, but you did an amazing job." So,
hey, I'm Nate Carver, and welcome to Between Two Doors. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Madison and Huntsville, Alabama area, I want to introduce you to Tamara Fox, real estate agent extraordinaire, wonderful human being that I've gotten to know. And let's talk to Tamara. Hey, Tamara, good morning. How are you doing?
good morning, Nate. I am well. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Spilled coffee 3 times, 3 shirts now, so we're good. and just trying to enjoy the day. So you're in Madison and Huntsville area of Alabama. Tell me, how long have you been a real estate agent?
So I have been in real estate for 17 years now. I got my start in Clarksville, Tennessee. Husband was military. Of course, we were at Fort Campbell there. He did 21 years of service. So thank you to all the veterans out there. And then we decided to move down here to the Huntsville area back in 2014. And now I service Redstone Arsenal and a huge veteran clientele.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, the VA loan is a fantastic loan for veterans.
It's
So
amazing.
what got you into the real estate world?
So that's an interesting question. When we had newspapers, those things that were printed and they got yucky all over your fingers, right? So I was working for the newspaper in Clarksville, Tennessee, selling real estate advertising to realtors. And there was a team that kept telling me, "Hey, you need to go into real estate. You need to go into real estate." And also, my aunt for years said, "You would really make a good realtor. Have you ever thought about it?" And, this business is difficult to get into. It's difficult to maintain a business, being small business owners, being a 1099 employee, no paychecks and all those kind of things. And so I had to make sure that it was the right time, right, to do that for the family and kind of not depend on an income for 6 months or so. And that's a true kind of statement when you get into this business. But selling real estate advertising to realtors, everybody always said, "Hey, you need to be an agent. You need to be an agent." So I did. I went to real estate school. I got my license, and even funnier about it is I joined this team and then I was fired. And I was like, wait a minute. You kind of wooed me over to real estate. And it was because I didn't get the training that I needed from that team. And so I had to go find a brokerage that did give me the training that I needed. I mean, this is one of the biggest purchases that anybody's ever going to make in their life. And I was very hesitant to, just for lack of a better term, slam somebody into a house, right? Like that is not anything that I've ever wanted to do. I needed to have integrity and know more things. So even though you go to real estate school, it doesn't prepare you for real estate in the real world. So I continued on. I had a very good colleague friend, and she's like, "Don't quit. You're going to be fine." So I endured. I joined another team that was absolutely amazing. I stayed on that team for 5 years and learned as much as I possibly could. And it's done great things for me today. And now I have a small team here in Huntsville / Madison / Northern Alabama. And we handle our clients the same way with tons of integrity.
Awesome. So perseverance, getting fired, sticking it out, digging deeper, learning more, honing in on your craft. What was it like for you when first thing, did you do a buy side transaction or did you represent the seller on your first transaction? And what was that like for you?
So my first transaction was a buyer, and I think that's mostly true for most agents. Their first one
Mhm.
is usually a buyer. So I did a buyer. He was a police officer, and I didn't want him to know that that this was my first transaction. I was, kind of breathing into a paper bag on the side, but then trying to, remain utmost confident. But I think the thing that helped me the most is knowing that my team was there for me. And I mean, it was an amazing experience. You should have seen the offer that I wrote. I mean, even though it might have been handled in the pre-printed, I reiterated it again. I wanted to make sure that he got all the things. And at the very end, at the closing table, I ended up fessing up. I was like, "Hey, by the way, I just feel like I need to tell you this." And they were like, "Wow, but you did an amazing job." So that was my first experience, and it was just really, really great. So
Nice. So
yeah.
what what did that mean to you and your family? That after that closing, how did y'all celebrate?
Goodness, it was so long ago. I'm not even sure I remember that. I think that I celebrated by investing back into myself because I
Mhm.
took that commission and I started to go and get more training. Meaning, you see a lot of agents out there that have that alphabet soup behind their name. Well, that's me. So I think after that, I went and got my ABR designation. And then I went in and got, some different certifications, and I just started down that road. So that was my way of celebrating. I think that kind of makes me a nerd, but that's okay. I just think that knowledge is power, and every day in this business is different. So in order to be better for my clients, I just wanted to be able to navigate those waters for them.
Awesome. Yeah, I having closed a deal with you, I have seen that firsthand that you definitely put back or reinvest into your business and it shows. Okay, so fast forward in what would you say in the current market that we're in? Big changes that you've seen, inspirational things that you might have noticed with buyers.
We have a lot going on in this industry right now, whether you've heard about it or not. Unfortunately, I don't think the media did us any favors with all the NAR changes that are coming down. Um, just try to be as transparent as possible about things. Have good conversations with your potential clients about how this business works, and interview a couple people. Find people that you want to work with on a long-term basis. um, there's so many changes, I don't even know where to start with some of those. However, I've been practicing a lot of the things that they are now kind of implementing early on in my business, because that was the best way for me to run my business and for me to spend my time with people that wanted to spend time with me, um, and invest in me, right, to help them with their goals. Does that answer that question?
I think so. That's good. So as a spouse of a veteran family, and dealing or working with a lot of veterans in your community, what are some of the rewards you've seen in those homeowners or with those homeowners needing to sell their home, and coming to you and asking for that help? A lot of veterans will do, they'll do a permanent change of station, and they'll have already used their VA loan once, and they can, obviously they can use it multiple times. But on from what you see from the real estate agent, what have you experienced there with those buyers, those homeowners?
I think knowing the VA loan product, like I try to stay in my lane as much as possible, but I think you have to have a good general understanding. Also, partnering with lenders that know that VA loan and know the ins and outs of it, I think is huge. Knowing that that VA loan can be assumed, um, depending upon where that interest rate was, right? When you bought, I did my first assumption back in December of last year, because it hasn't really been feasible for us to do these assumptions, even though that's part of that VA loan But my veteran buyer ended up getting a 2.625 interest rate on a balance. It was a $600,000 home. Balance was about 570, and it made a huge difference to them. Um, you know, just knowing all the ins and outs with it, I think is so helpful. It is a government backed loan. It typically has a lower interest rate associated with it, which is really good. But just being able to talk about it and understand it, and understanding, the whole PCSing and moving and what that's like for them and how much stress is involved with all of that. Fortunately, here at Redstone Arsenal, I kind of feel like, guys are getting done with their career, the 20 years, the 21 years. They're coming from Campbell, Novacell now. I can't remember what Rutgers' new name is. They've changed all the names of these, so I don't remember them all. But, veterans are coming here for their second careers. And they're using that VA loan. Typically, they have some disability associated with them, so they don't have to pay those fees. Or if they're putting down more money, of course, then that funding fee, also goes down, which, like I said, I know just enough to be dangerous about that. So I can hit the highlights of it, but then I try to push it back to the expert, which is you.
Yeah. Oh, so they asked me stuff about real estate. I'm like, that's a great question for your real estate agent. And
right?
unless it's about the numbers, and I've learned to stay out of that lane too.
Yes,
On the real estate side. So they're looking primarily maybe for their forever home in that in those military careers. They've gotten to that point where that's where they're looking for their forever home, and you certainly help them find that. What are you doing outside of real estate when you step away from the market in buying and selling and helping families out, accomplishing their dreams? What do you love doing that helps recharge your batteries?
That's a good question. I like having good conversations with people. I feel like we don't have a lot of that anymore. So I try to reconnect. I have a ton of Army family down here in this area. So trying to reconnect with them. We have a supper club that I'm a part of that we get together where, we've all been through so much, and the husbands have been through so much. And it's a great way for the wives to get together, for the husbands to get together. Cars, I do like cars. So car club is kind of fun thing for me to do. I love to walk and get out. My dad recently moved here to the area, so I do spend a lot of time with him. We've never lived in the same city, so I'm trying to live as much as I can in the now and for today, and not put off things that are important for me for tomorrow. I've seen too many things happen in this lifetime that we don't get time back. And it's so important to spend your time with people that make your heart happy. So that's what I do. And my husband, of course.
Love it. I love it. All right. So a couple more questions for you. What kind of advice would you give to someone that is looking to sell their home?
I would say, interview some agents, find an agent, look at their online reviews, reach out to people that you might know in the area that you're looking to sell your home in, see if your friends have had good experiences with their agents that they've used in the past. I think that's a great way, maybe even hopefully the agent that you bought your home from has stayed in touch with you. I think that's a huge thing, a huge miss, unfortunately, that agents don't think about, do on a regular basis. But when you buy or sell with me, you're client for life. I'm always going to stay in touch with you. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I don't go away. So I hope that's okay. But interview a lot of agents, right? Find somebody that has the same goals that you have for whatever you're doing, buying, selling, right? And somebody that listens to you. I think that is a lost art also in this world. Like, you have to be able to converse with somebody, but you also have to have somebody that's actively listening to you and knows what it is that you need when you need it so that they can help get you there.
I agree. It's the biggest transaction anybody ever does in their life, and having a team that can remove the chaos out of that is so important. Okay, so in the years that you've been helping people buy homes and sell homes, I would love to know either a crazy story, a funny story in real estate, or if you want to go down that road, a horrific story in real estate that could be a cautionary tale to others.
Goodness. I think one of the first open houses I ever did, probably, like, I probably just need to write a book eventually. Um, One of the first open houses I ever did, I was in a neighborhood. It was a vacant home. I got there, I had my signs, I had all my stuff printed out. I opened up the car door and immediately step in dog poo that is on the street, right by the curb, right where I put my foot. It's 1:45. The open house starts at 2. The house
Uh,
is vacant. There's no paper towels. There's nothing anywhere, right? Like there's so I think that's taught me to keep things in the car, like in my mobile office. That's what I call it. So always have a contingency plan, a backup pair of shoes, paper towels, wet wipes, toilet paper, all the things. So that was probably one of the funniest things that have ever happened to me, but it was also a learning experience. Like, look before you step, because I just wasn't expecting that to be there. I mean,
yeah.
on the streets. Didn't see it when I pulled up. So, like, that's kind of a funny thing. Um, the other is, even though you might have an appointment to show a house, I always announce myself at the door. I just yell in realtor because there are some things that you cannot unsee in this world. And I've seen some of those things. So
I've
we'll just
walked
end it with that.
Oh no. I have walked into the wrong house. The front door was unlocked, and I'm somewhat dyslexic, maybe. I don't know, on a Saturday morning, and I go in and I just, hey, I'm here for the. Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
Oh,
It happened. So good for
it
you.
does happen. It does
Yeah.
happen.
Wow.
But this business is so interesting. It's so rewarding. It's challenging. It's all the things, but it's also a lot of fun because I get to meet so many people from so many different walks of life and
Yeah.
listen to their stories and help them achieve the American dream. And that is my total why. Like, it is so important for us to have this generational wealth that we can build through real estate.
Absolutely. And you definitely take care of your clients, homeowners, your clients. They become friends. It's relationships in this business.
Yes. Yes.
So if someone is looking to buy or sell a home in Huntsville or Madison area of Alabama, how would they best get a hold of you?
So you can call me and text me. My number is 615-482-6787. You can Google me. I should be out there. You should see me at Remax Unlimited. I do have a Google profile, which is just Tamara Fox Realtor. Reach out to me there. Phone, email, tamarafoxrealtor@gmail.com. You name it, smoke signals, I get them all.
Nice. And I'll add those links down in the comments section down below on whichever
Perfect.
platform to wherever it ends up going. So we'll get that formatted for you. Tamara,
Great.
thank you for meeting and talking with me today. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And let's do this again soon.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.